What's up guys, Houndish here, and today I want to talk about the roadmap of content and updates coming for Destiny 2. Now if you've been super up to date with all of the news, you've probably heard a lot of this stuff already. It's worth me saying that this video is geared towards the players who've perhaps lapsed from the game a little bit and want more of a roundup of when we can expect to see positive changes and if those changes are going to be enough to encourage them back. Because of course the one issue with the amount of communication that Bungie, are having with us right now and all of these updates is that there are a lot of moving parts. So I'm trying to kind of summarize and round up when we're going to see specific changes, but also all of the details that we currently know about the individual changes. So jumping straight into it, we're at the end of February. We're getting the February update on the 27th, and this brings in Nightfall scoring as well as high score tracking for the Nightfalls, destination emblem variants as well as Crucible and Nightfall emblem variants, and as you can see on screen, otherwise we have mostly quality of life changes. Now in March we will be getting update 1.1.4, and this is a much more substantial update, assuming that Bungie can get all of these planned changes done on time. So I'm going to break down everything we know about all of these updates. March 27th will bring weapon and ability sandbox changes. This is stuff we've been waiting for an incredibly long time. Other important elements will include heroic strike modifiers, Iron Banner 6v6, weekly Crucible playlist that features Mayhem and Rumble, so they've actually pulled those game modes forward. They were planned to come later on. We'll also see Crucible ammo and gameplay tuning, as well as quitter penalties, repeat Crucible map and strike protection, as well as exotic repetition reduction, Nightfall strike unique rewards, and companion vendor viewing. So in particular, this is going to be a very good update for Crucible fans, but if you are more of a PvE specific player, there will still be some pretty positive changes. The sandbox is going to be changed up quite a lot, and it's looking like the Nightfall strike unique rewards could be pretty exciting. Obviously, this update is just another step in the right direction, but it's going to be, one of the biggest ones that we've had. So in terms of sandbox specific stuff, Bungie will be buffing all three glides plus catapult and strafe lift, which have been retuned and buffed to make them more unique and faster. Mobility stat has had its range expanded and been completely retuned. Everyone will move faster, and the player's ground speed cap has been increased. Arcstrider, Sentinel, and Striker all move faster and at the same speed as one another. The Arcstrider in particular will have faster dodge animations and attack animations, as well as increased range of all attacks inside of supers. Supers will recharge faster for all players. Several weapon archetypes are getting buffs, including hand cannons, pulse rifles, sniper rifles, and shotguns, as well as a few specific perks. And as far as Crucible specific changes, player respawn times for all quick play modes have been decreased, power ammo respawn timers in quick play have been reduced by 30%, survival by 40%, and countdown they've been reduced by 25%. Ammo counts have been adjusted in relation to these timers and in relation to weapon type. Enemy players will now drop their power ammo upon death, and anyone can pick it up. It will disappear after 30 seconds. As well as this, the shoulder charge changes that went in a couple of months ago will be completely reverted. So purely in terms of sandbox, I feel like that's going to make the game more fun. Faster character movement I think is generally going to be a good thing anywhere in the game. And once again, Iron Banner 6v6, if you're a fan of 6v6 modes, the Bungie are basically going to be testing that out in an effort to kind of get it into the game in a much more persistent format in May. Iron Banner 6v6 will be its own thing. We'll also have a weekly Crucible playlist of either Mayhem or Rumble, so it looks like that will rotate. One week it'll be Mayhem, the next it'll be Rumble, and so on. Another big element is Nightfall strike unique rewards. This was supposed to happen in February, but Chris Barrett kind of candidly said they've basically pushed it back to give the art team time to make sure those weapons look awesome, which to a lot of us kind of sounded like these weapons are not going to be reskins, or at least we're trying extra hard, because that has been kind of an issue. Plus it's enemy themed loot, I think they need to get it right. But that will be the March update. We'll have time to kind of let that stew, find some new weapons that are kind of kicking ass and things like that, as well as hunt down some of those new rewards. Another thing worth mentioning is that from March 27th, through April, that's when we'll begin to get all of the marketing cycle for the next expansion for the game. We'll have recently had the update. We'll also probably have the final Iron Banner and Faction Rally for Season 2, and then in May, we will be going into Season 3 and the expansion, so there's going to be a lot of new content and a lot more changes and updates to the game. But the specific changes they have outlined for May when Season 3 and the DLC drop include a prestige mode for the Eater of Worlds, seasonal Crucible Rankings, so, if they get that Sandbox stuff right and the Crucible is much more fun as of March, if that actually is what happens, then Crucible Rankings is going to make a lot of sense. There'll also be private matches, a vault space increase, I'm pretty sure everybody is going to be excited or pleased that that is finally happening, a multi-emote wheel, exotic masterworks, as well as seasonal vendor progression, which hopefully will mean more than, just a refresh of gear, but we'll also have faction rally improvements as well as exotic weapon and armor sandbox changes. Now, as far as the prestige mode, Bungie will be working on a curated loadout mode for prestige modes going forward. They are still taking feedback on this. A lot of players indicated that they would prefer a traditional style of prestige as well as this kind of loadout mode. But the loadout mode will basically mean that there is a modifier for the raid. An example they gave was marksman, precision damage is increased, landing a precision shot grants 1 ammo directly back to the magazine. But then you will have a required loadout of kinetic hand cannon, energy scout rifle, and linear fusion rifle. And this will be a sort of new combined prestige and challenge type mode for the raid. The seasonal Crucible Rankings is something that we don't have a ton of information about just yet, but there will be 2 different rank routes that you can explore as a player. So Valor, a progression rank that goes up as you complete matches, winning will help you move up faster, but there are no loss penalties, and then Glory, which is the sweaty version, a progression rank that goes up when you win and down when you lose. Performance is how you move up. I think the ranking system in itself, is okay. How much this will affect play itself and matchmaking isn't clear, but I think a very, very important element is going to be the loot system there as well. Players in Destiny don't just want to achieve numbers. I mean, I know some players do, but we like loot. Make sure there's a rigid loot system, and this could be very good for PvP fans. Of course, private matches and vault space increases speak for themselves. Exotic masterworks is something we don't know too much about. Presumably, they will offer pretty similar benefits to the current masterworks. As far as exotic weapon and armor sandbox changes, Bungie and John Wisniewski from Bungie have given us, a few examples of some pretty exciting stuff they're doing. We're going to be seeing some very sizable buffs to some of the underused exotics. They gave the example of Graviton Lance with its new kind of explosion effect, which has been completely reworked. Sounds like Sunshot, Tractor Cannon, Graviton Lance, and a whole host of exotics will be getting some pretty sizable buffs. Now, you may be wondering about Mods 2.0. This is a new mod system that Bungie have been putting into place, or working towards at least. This is something on the roadmap which has continuously been changed and pushed back, and now Bungie say that they don't think they'll be able to get this system out when Season 3 launches, but they're hoping to get it out, very shortly after. And this is all we know so far about Mods 2.0. So they said that Grant McKay has put together an exciting plan for Mods 2.0 that will open up their requirements significantly, allowing them to be more potent in ways that you'll end up feeling directly in your ability uptime and therefore total power output. So I mean, that's pretty vague, but it sounds promising. I think it's unfortunate that this, has been pushed off the roadmap for now, because this is one of the elements that provides potential for some progression and real customization in the game. If you ask me what I think is missing on this roadmap right now, I think, addressing the serious loot issues in the game is something that Bungie are going to have to look at. We still don't have the answer to the 9th, 10th Better Devils argument, whatever that is. We still don't have a replacement for, random roles or any kind of improvements really outside of the Masterwork system. And I 100% recognize that that is a huge issue. Mods has some potential to curb some of that pain and provide more progression and, make loot potentially a little bit more exciting. I'm not personally convinced that it is the answer, but we don't know what they're going to do with these mods yet, so it's kind of hard to say. The one thing I will say is, considering this has been pushed back, I really hope that it has a very sizable impact on gear in the game. I really do. I mean, we can assume that Bungie will be looking at this stuff more seriously for what is coming later on this year, and it's the most likely point in time where we'll see the scope of change kind of increase dramatically. But those are my thoughts on that, guys. We don't want to get too much into that. For now, though, that is everything we currently know about updates coming to Destiny 2. And really, I think a lot of it will speak for itself. If you're a big Crucible fan, then the stuff coming in March might be pretty exciting. As far as stuff beyond that, especially DLC stuff, I think it's going to be down to Bungie to make the right changes and then demonstrate them to players. Presumably we'll have live streams leading up to the DLC. Anyway, that is everything we know, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you have found the video useful though, a like is very much appreciated. If you are new to the channel and you want to see more Destiny 2 content, feel free to hit that subscribe button. But for now, I hope you guys have an awesome day.